It's 11 o'clock. You're watching Newslink. I'm Ropua Madzena. And one of the top stories we're focusing on this weekend is the Letsema campaign, where President Cyril Ramaphosa is in Philippi today. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila tracking his movements. And let's listen into what he is engaging community members on this hour.
See you later. Great to see you, Mr. President. But yesterday you attended the NEC meeting.
There's no bad.
Guys, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later.
Yeah. Can you tell us what was your message to the NEC yesterday?
No, I attended the meeting of the NEC as an ordinary member and as the president of the ANC. So there was no message that I had to put forward. We were dealing with the preparations to the conference, and that's all.
But you delivered a political report. What did you say?
No, I didn't deliver a political report. I didn't deliver a political report. I will deliver the political report next week Friday at the conference. That's when I deliver the... I'd like you to be there to listen to me when I deliver the political report as president.
Okay.
Mr.
Thank you very much.
They deferred the Pala matter to conference. Should it found you wanting there, will you step aside? What will you do?
No. There are no should, why, should this, and so forth, because you're dealing with suppositions. The integrity report on all matters that they've been dealing with is going to be part of the organizational report. So all the issues that they've been dealing with will be part of the organizational report. Like every other subcommittee of the ANC, it will be tabled before the conference, and that's it. There's not much to it. So you guys are really getting excited over this one issue. Please relax. Relax. There's no issue. There's no crisis. Just relax and do come and listen to the political report. I invite you to do that.
Okay, let's go, President. Let's go,
President. All right, we're being pushed away, a colleague, by the security team of the president. President saying that we shouldn't be pushed, in fact.
What's your view on this matter? There are calls that the ESCOM board and the CEO are incompetent and they should leave. What's your view? Do they have your support?
We've just appointed a board of ESCOM. It has my full support. We've always said that with regard to ESCOM, we're dealing with a very complex matter. And the board has just been appointed, and they are busy wrapping their own mind and understanding around ESCOM. Let us give them a chance. Yes, we have said that load shedding is going to be a problem for us going forward. Government is committed to bring load shedding to an end. And load shedding is not a deliberate act by the government, by ESCOM management. It's just what we are dealing with in terms of the power stations that keep breaking. And this has been happening for quite some time, and we are dealing with a problem. And by the way, I'm not saying that this is an excuse. A number of other countries are dealing with energy challenges, particularly also following what is happening throughout the world. But in our case, we are dealing with this problem, and we're dealing with it with the seriousness that it deserves. And we are putting resources behind it. We're putting money behind it, billions and billions of rands. So there's no one who is deliberately instigating load shedding, but we are deliberately trying to bring load shedding to an end.
Do you have a time frame, Mr. President, when it will come to an end?
No. There can't be a time frame when you are dealing with a broken system. You need to repair that broken system, and it has been so for quite a long time. It's got many parts to it. It's got the skills base to it. It's got machines to it. It's got flawed designs of power stations. It's got various aspects, and it's also got an element of sabotage, where people, either service providers or employees, go in and cut wires so that there can be breakage of units. So it's a combination of all these things that we are dealing with. And fortunately, right now, when it comes to criminality, people are getting arrested. For the first time ever, people are now being arrested for fraud, for corruption, and also being arrested for tampering with the system. So we are making progress, but because the ESCOM is such an enormous organization, we've got to deal with the problems from all sides. So that is exactly what we are doing. I'm going to be having a meeting with ministers tomorrow so that we see exactly what is on the go and see what further interventions we can make. I made an announcement some months ago about the interventions that we want to take. Those are underway from a maintenance point of view for increasing the generation, and all those things are underway. But it's a process, and I want South Africans to understand that we've got our hands on deck. We are not sleeping on the job, and ESCOM keeps me awake most of the time. So we are working on it. It is an overriding problem for all of us in government. So without saying be patient or whatever, I'm just saying I want South Africans to know that it is top of mind problem that we are dealing with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's all. Was there too many questions?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Too much.
Thank you.
All right, President Cyril Ramaphosa there, just been briefed by the ANC inside here in the Western Cape. Of course, we do know that you're mentioning no time frames when it comes to the crisis of ESCOM. Didn't get a chance, colleague, to ask if it shouldn't be declared a national state of disaster, because we do understand that he mentioned himself that there are no time frames in terms of when we'll come and see the end of ESCOM. President now being taken close to his car. I'm not sure if you can still get... Oh, his guards are very guarded in terms of just making sure that we stay away from the president as the president go inside the car. Now, it is the Letsema campaign in the Western Cape. We asked him also about that Phala Phala report, which we do know was deferred to the national conference that kicks off next Friday. He says that it's not the only report that will be delved upon there. There are many other reports that have been deferred by the Integrity Committee, and we do know will be delved in the national conference. Kicks place, of course, on the 16th of December in Nasrec. President now moving away with his presidential protection unit, where we do know the Letsema campaign is going to be underway. I see the spokesperson of the Western Cape ANC here. Loisha, I'm going to bring you... I'm going to bring you closer just to get an understand the sense of what the president was told inside here by the party.
Well, as he indicated, the ANC runs the Letsema campaign. It's a national campaign where we visit communities across the country. Now, we've decided to take him here to Philippi. As you know, Philippi is one of the biggest spots when it comes to crime, gender-based violence, lack of service delivery, a lot of informal settlements. So the president has been briefed by the ward councillor, he's been briefed by the province, and he's really now going to go into a massive cleaning campaign. He's going to go on the ground, interact with the communities, and then later today, of course, meet the alliance and all the branches of the ANC. As he's leaving now, he's going to the junction in the mall, where he's going to interact with the people around. But most importantly, he's actually going to go into the cleaning up campaign that is organized by the branch here.
You mentioned the issue of crime, and it's one that we were threatened with my colleague Mario here, about 30 or so minutes ago, threatening to take our equipment, some of the people that we were met with at the Philippi Plaza. How is this going to be tackled? I mean, it's a serious concern that needs to be grappled with, more so in the townships, because we see it almost non-existent in the city itself.
Well, of course, the problem in the Western Cape is the Democratic Alliance playing politics with the lives of our people. As you know, that metros across the country have got their own policing budget. In fact, what the DA in this province has been trying to do has been trying to almost become a federal state on their own, not cooperating with national government. Most of the problems of crime in these areas should be placed directly at the doorstep of the Democratic Alliance. But the president is here today. Various officials, even within the police, are here. We're going to the ground, and I think it's important that national now needs to put its foot down and ensure that there's police visibility in our townships, and we ensure that particularly this issue of crime is tackled properly. But I can tell you now, the biggest problem in this province has been the reluctance of the DA to enter into our communities and simply just play politics with the lives of our people.
And then when we look at the ANC, provinces, only two haven't sat for their provincial conference, the Western Cape and the Free State. When are you holding your provincial conference?
Well, we'll be holding our conference early in the coming year. As I'm talking to you, we've held 4 regional conferences. The Central Karoo, as we're talking to, is busy with the registration. Tomorrow it's sitting in its conference. It will leave you with just 2 regions, which is the Dala Oma region as well as the Southern Cape region. Now, we took a decision to say, let all the regions do their work. Dala Oma has been quite slow. It's the biggest region in the province, the Southern Cape. So we are actually at 66%. As you know, you need 70% of your structures to hold a provincial conference. We're almost there. But in fact, in addition to that, the Western Cape now is taking the biggest delegation ever to the national conference. We're the 7th largest province now. We're no longer the last. We're on top of Free State and the Northern Cape. We're bringing a more coherent delegation. You don't hear stories of divisions and so on, because this provincial leadership focused on the uniting of the structures in the province, bringing back the colored communities into the province, bringing back various communities that have been isolated over years. So by the time we sit the provincial conference, you will see a different picture, a united Western Cape, a bigger Western Cape, and a more focused Western Cape for 2024.
All right, thank you very much. Spokesperson of the ANC in the Western Cape, colleague, just delving into a number of issues. They haven't sat for their provincial conference, which is now set for early next year. We heard some of those issues, crime being among them, where ourselves were threatened by some gentlemen who wanted to, well, threatening to take our equipment. So it shows the severity of some of the issues. But the president, of course, tackling the biggest burden in the country now, that is the ongoing blackouts, mentioning that it's something that he doesn't sleep at night because of, but not mentioning, giving any time frames as to when government will actually grapple and put an end to the rolling blackouts.
Very interesting insights there, Aviwe Mtila. And of course, National Treasury coming out a couple of days ago saying that Eskom is going to need to make money or to find means to find the money to purchase diesel as it ran with its begging bowl to National Treasury for some emergency funding and Treasury saying that it's difficult to deal with last minute requests. So that power issue is a big one. But the crime one of you as well. I'm glad you're safe, you and the rest of the team out there in Philippi today, and of course we'll continue to catch up with you as you follow the president around. That is senior reporter Aviwe Mtila coming to us from Philippi in the Western Cape.